having lots of famous people.
Lots of famous people.
Lots and lots of famous people.
Just a shit ton of famous people.
Breaking news. These famous actors have collaborated to make a Trump hate video. These famous actors have filmed themselves speaking politics against Donald Trump, who was the former president of the United States of America. Trending today on TikTok, a series of famous people are waging a video against the former U.S. President, Donald Trump. Donald Trump, as the 45th President of the United States, was a highly polarizing figure, and the reasons people disliked him were varied and complex. But why do these celebrities hate Donald Trump? Trump was known for his inflammatory and often divisive rhetoric. He frequently used social media, particularly Twitter, to attack political opponents, the media, and various individuals and groups. His statements were often perceived as promoting division rather than unity. Many of Trump's policies were controversial and provoked strong reactions. For instance, his immigration policies, including the travel ban on several predominantly Muslim countries and the separation of migrant families at the U.S.-Mexico border, were widely criticized. His administration's approach to issues like climate change, healthcare, and international relations also garnered significant opposition. Trump's handling of the COVID-19 pandemic was a major source of criticism. Many people felt that his response was inadequate and that he downplayed the severity of the virus. His mixed messages about the importance of masks and other public health measures were also points of contention. Trump faced numerous accusations of racism, sexism, and other forms of bigotry. His comments about various racial and ethnic groups, as well as his treatment of women, including allegations of sexual misconduct, contributed to the perception that he was promoting discrimination and intolerance. Critics accused Trump of undermining democratic norms and institutions. His attacks on the media, the judiciary, and the electoral process, particularly his refusal to accept the results of the 2020 presidential election and the events leading to the January 6 Capitol riot, were seen as threats to democratic principles. Many people were put off by Trump's behavior and temperament, viewing him as unpresidential. His frequent personal attacks, his tendency to spread misinformation, and his often confrontational style were seen as unbecoming of a president. Trump's approach to international relations, including his criticism of traditional allies and international organizations, as well as his praise for authoritarian leaders, was controversial. Many felt that his foreign policy weakened the U.S.'s standing in the world. While some praised Trump's economic policies, others felt that his administration's approach favored the wealthy and exacerbated economic inequality. Issues like his stance on healthcare, education, and social justice also drew significant criticism. These are some of the primary reasons why Donald Trump was a highly polarizing figure and why many people strongly opposed him.
You have an obligation
to be a part of that decision.
You might think it's not important, you might think you're not important,
but that's not true.
And the only way we can prove that to you is by having lots of famous people.
Lots of famous people.
Lots and lots of famous people.
Just a shit ton of famous people.
but you only get this many famous people together if the issue's
One that truly matters to all of us.
a disease or
ecological crisis or
a racist, abusive coward who could permanently damage the fabric of our society.
Do the math.
Do we really want to give nuclear weapons to a man whose signature move is firing?
firing things?
But we can end this nightmare before it begins.
We can save the day.
for our children.
For our children.
For our children. For our communities.
For our communities.
For our communities.
For America.
For America. For America.
All it takes is all of us.
All of us.
All of us.
We cannot pretend both sides are equally unfavorable.
We can't say one vote doesn't matter.
Your vote matters.
Your vote matters. It affects everything.
Not just the presidency, but the Senate,
The House,
Your local officials,
Immigration. Student debt.
Common sense gun laws.
the Supreme Court.
See, this isn't just an election, it's a tipping point.
For the country.
For the world.
for your world.
It's important to note that opinions on Trump varied widely, and he also had a large base of fervent supporters who praised his policies and leadership style. Now, having said that, these individuals are very clear on their thoughts that Donald Trump must be canceled, but what do you think?